There are two or three things which I need to draw the attention of the viewers through you. First is the newspaper which published the file notings of that time, of the then Defence Secretary, did not, I do not know whether their source gave them only Adha Adura or their source gave them the full. But what they have definitely done is, in publishing something, they have not done a complete job. In fact, I would have thought if they themselves had only that much which they have revealed and not more, the nature of what they are revealing demands that they look for further information. In this case, the reply to what the Defence Secretary, the then Defence Secretary, has raised, and in that the Defence Secretary has drawn the attention of the Raksha Mantri. So any simple logic will tell you that what was the reply of the Raksha Mantri would be the thing you will search for. So to now say, no, this is all that probably that journal, that newspaper had, and therefore they published it. Is it not the responsibility of a journalist to search for the next before publishing? Or at least say, we tried getting the answer from the ministry, they did not respond, and therefore we are only publishing this much. They have published half-truth, almost as though with an intention, and this is my suspicion, I am not throwing it without reason, but I have a reason to say this. My suspicion is they wanted to create just this doubt in the mind of the reader, and therefore I will only put this much, but I will not put the reply. Even if I don't have it, I have not even made an attempt to get it. So to me, it looks very clearly an attempt again by people. I do not know whether they are doing it for themselves or they are doing it in response to some kind of a corporate warfare which is going on in this matter.
You see that?
No, I am sorry. The PMO, not just under Shri Narendra Modi, but PMO and I am sure any other PM as well, will certainly monitor the progress of activities, not just purchases under defence, but many other, even under Ayushman Bharat or Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or anything of that kind, to consider. And this I very clearly said even in my January 4th reply in the Lok Sabha for the Rafale debate. I had said even then that there are talk among the opposition and some of them raising the question, saying questions are being asked about Prime Minister's office interfering in the process. Even at that time I said very clearly, if the Prime Minister's office pursues a matter saying what is the progress, how far is it happening here, is it happening in France, are you all moving forward, that cannot be construed as an interference at all. But I will then ask you this question. As I said in the Lok Sabha today, if the legitimate authority, the first among equals, in a cabinet the Prime Minister is the first among equal, and collective responsibility prevails, if the PMO checks on a ministry, that I shall not construe as interference. It's more that all of us are equally responsible, we have to move forward. Then, if this is seen as interference, I want to ask the Congress party, what was the NAC? National Advisory Council under Srimati Sonia Gandhi, it didn't even have a statutory authority. It was not a constitutional body. It was not part of the PMO in the sense of it had the authority to ask questions. It was remote controlling the PMO. Was that interference? Can the Congress party please answer that? Let them make up their mind. We'll discuss about what is interference and what is not, if they bring in NAC into discussion. If they tell me what was the role of the NAC to decide on policy for which they were not even authorized. They were not the Prime Minister's office, they were not the Cabinet Office Secretariat, they were not a constitutional body. What was the NAC, please? PMO interfering? PMO is responsible to find out what is the progress, and they are rightly doing it. What was NAC's role? What's their stature? Were they provided in the constitution? I'm constantly reminding you The PM is first among equals. It is the cabinet. It is the government of India that is working together. MOD is part of all the departments and ministries which is together to make up for what is government of India. Why should it hurt them, or why should it be a matter of concern for them if the PM checks up? Assume that he did. In this case, I am not saying they interfered. Even if the Defence Secretary has said it, the then Raksha Mantri has answered, he said it's overreaction. So, if the PM monitors the progress of anything, is that objectionable? He is the Prime Minister. What was Sonia Gandhi's NAC? I repeat, such audacity that the Congress is talking about interference, remote control they ran. Because I think none of you or no media house goes and asks Rahul Gandhi. He sat there during my response on January 4th. I have answered this question. But like a parrot, you go on saying what you want to say. I don't know if in an interview like this I can tell you one fable. I am tempted to say that. I want the ANI to please understand. There is a fable in Tamil Nadu. A king goes with all his ministers and everybody accompanied, wants to meet with people. Some people come and praise him and put a garland, some others come and say, I have a problem. He listens to all of them and keeps going. There's some little bird somewhere which constantly makes some noise. The king is perturbed. He says, please, to his sentries, he says, please go check up what this bird is up to. Why is it making some kind of noise? Why is it shriekingly going on saying something? These sentries go and check up. The bird says, I have a sikka, I have a coin, I have a coin, I have a coin. And therefore these sentries remove the coin from it. Then it starts shouting again. The king removed the coin, the king removed the coin, king removed the coin. The sentries are there with the king and the king says, why now? You went and saw it. Why is it screaming? Then they go back and put the coin back at the bird. The bird continues saying, ha ha ha, the king threw the money back to me, the king threw the money back to me. It's like this. I don't know, I've told you a fable, you can make up what it is. So you attend to it, you answer it, even then we don't hear. He was there in the Lok Sabha. I thought he heard everything that I said. But after that too, I'll keep asking the same questions. That is why I also said, you can wake up somebody who's sleeping, but you can't wake up somebody who's pretending to sleep. Not just defense, PMO, you know, in fact some district level activities also, PM talks through Pragati with the district collectors saying, how's it going, is there anything else, do I need to come up with something more to assist you to implement the scheme, and so on. He follows all of them. Otherwise this government in 5 years, or as Chief Minister of Gujarat, all the years that he was there, you think progress would have been made at this pace? Without corruption, without middlemen, not just in defense, in every one of the ministries, during his time as Chief Minister and during his time now as Prime Minister. Is it possible to keep delivering on the promises without corruption, without middlemen, unless he monitors like this? He's shown that he monitors, he moves fast, takes good decision in the interest of the country. Naturally. I am not worried about Rafale or any decision that we've taken because we've gone on merit. The decision has been collective. Every service headquarter, the concerned service headquarter is involved in the decision making. So that doesn't worry me per se. But what worries me is the selective way in which whatever has been leaked out has been taken and distorted and false impressions are being created. Well, leak per se is a different issue. I'll handle that differently. But the selective nature with which the contents of the leak are being twisted and turned, and allegations without even a thought are being thrown at, and name calling. Even with 2G Gotala, where CAG came up with a report, even with Bofors, where the same newspaper which has published this Aadha Adhura Kahani today, the opposition parties of those days, the opposition during UPA, which we were there, brazen name calling did not happen. Homework were done by all of us.
PM is being called
repeatedly, and that by a man who is on bail. Look at the irony. You media, I would haath jod karke I will ask all of you, would you, I mean, like, I don't mind the number of times you will ask me questions. You will ask the BJP the questions. Sometimes I feel, do you want to ask him, sir? You are asking questions. Can you explain why you are on bail? Why are you in bail? Let him explain that once. And after that, have the courage of conviction to call the Prime Minister, on whom there is not even one whisper of an allegation, not just today, since the time he has come into public life.
You think, ma'am, this will continue till the elections?
Let it continue any number of days, but I will face them with facts. And I will keep asking him as to why he is out on bail, why his mother is out on bail, why his brother-in-law is out on bail. And with all this, how has he got the moral courage to call Prime Minister a chore? Sheer audacity.
The Congress says that with
and today, I'll take this opportunity. Look at again the courage with which he is provoking the armed forces, which in India holds a pride of place. What was his language in the press conference today? Why is it that no one from the media wants to ask him, are you provoking the army? Are you provoking the Air Force? What is it that he is trying to do? Ask them to stand up against the government of India? What kind of a politics is he playing in this? Why don't you all ask him? Thank you.
Thank you.